Hi, in this video we're going to go over the basic tools we use in forest measurements. In another set of videos we'll explain each tool in more detail and how the tools are applied in forest and tree measurements. The first tool I'm going to go over is called the diameter tape, or D-tape. Basically, we wrap this around the tree to measure its girth. The D-tape is a highly accurate and important tool that we use in forestry. Another tool that we can use to measure the girth of a tree is called the stem caliper. The caliper is basically a giant ruler that we can clap onto the sides of a tree and measure how wide it is. The caliper is less precise than the diameter tape, and it's also a bit clunky. I usually have to carry it around in the forest like this. The diameter tape, on the other hand, in addition to being more accurate, can fit nicely in my pocket, or I can put it right in my backpack. Another important tool is the inclinometer, or clinometer. The clinometer measures vertical angles. So, I look through the clinometer at an object, and I can measure angles from 90 degrees straight up, 0 degrees, level with my eye, or negative 90 degrees, which is looking straight down. The clinometer is used mainly for measuring the heights of trees and also the slope of the ground. When using a clinometer to measure the heights of trees, we also use a measuring tape to measure the distance away. We use trigonometry to combine measurements and angles to figure out how tall the trees are. However, the measuring tape is a widely used and useful tool for many aspects of forestry. We often need to measure distances, like how far is one tree from another, or for the center of a plot, or from the edge of a forest, and things like that. The measuring tape is often used in conjunction with these steel measuring pins. A lot of times we use them in combination with the measuring tape, hooking the measuring tape on one end, especially when you're measuring distances by yourself. They stick easily into the ground in the forest and can be used to mark important locations. Another important tool is the compass. Many of you know that compasses have a magnetic needle which points towards the magnetic north pole of the Earth. As I turn around, the needle is always pointing to the north, and I can use the dial in the compass to determine what direction I'm facing or determine what direction I want to go in. In forestry, we basically use the compass to navigate around the forest and also to mark the angle as well as the distance with the measuring tape between objects in the forest. Those 6 basic tools, the diameter tape, caliper, the inclinometer, the measuring tape, the steel measuring pins, and the compass, will enable us to do most jobs that we need to do in forestry. However, like in many fields, there's a wide range of technology that are improving what we do. Next, I'm going to go over a couple of advanced tools which have really improved the efficiency and accuracy at which we can do forestry work. One really important tool is called a Global Positioning System Unit, or GPS unit. This tool basically communicates with navigation satellites that orbit the Earth. It has a receiver here, takes those signals, and figures out where my location is on the Earth. What I do with this tool in forestry is this enables me to navigate 2 locations in the forest, mark locations or trees of interest, places in the forest, and generally navigate around and make maps. Another really interesting and important device that's revolutionizing the way we take measurements in forestry is this laser rangefinder. Basically, the way this device works is I look at an object, it shoots a laser pulse at it, that pulse bounces back, and based on the return time, it can measure the distance. This particular unit also has an electronic tilt sensor in it. So, like a clinometer, it can measure vertical angles from straight up to horizontal to straight down. This unit also has an electronic compass in it. The electronic compass basically orientates itself to the Earth's electromagnetic field. So when I shoot a laser pulse, it also knows what direction that pulse is shot in. So, under the best conditions, this unit can replace the measuring tape, the inclinometer, and the compass. However, there are situations in which the laser is obstructed or other things interfere with the use of the technology, and it requires batteries which can run out. So, even when I take this into the forest with me, I always bring along my basic tools because they'll work under any environmental conditions. Okay, now that I've got my backpack packed, we can go out into the forest and take some measurements. See you in the next video.